Welcome to the AWS CRUD API Starter Kit. In this video, I'll show you how to deploy the kit from a fresh download all the way to testing live API endpoints using AWS Lambda, API Gateway, and DynamoDB. Let's get started. I'm going to demonstrate how to use my starter kit for an AWS CRUD API so that you can get it up and running and then start developing your own solutions with it. So first, you'll download the zip file and you want to extract that locally. And I like to get rid of this folder name right here just so we don't have double nesting, but that's personal preference, so you can keep it or get rid of it. And there we are. And now we'll dip down into this folder structure to show our script that we're going to execute. And there's a couple gotchas with this script that you need to set up for your own environment, but it'll protect you in case you forget to make these changes at first. But first, let's try to execute the script, and I'll show you a system issue that you'll need to address for an unsigned PowerShell script. So we'll change into the script directory. And we'll attempt to run the deployment script. So let's do SafeDeploy. We can't run it right now because of our execution policy in the system. So let's temporarily bypass that with this statement right here. This is in the Quickstart guide, so you'll have this when you're setting it up for yourself. That has been changed, and now we're going to try to run the script one more time, but we'll run into another item that we need to address. So you'll either want to use your default profile for AWS or enter your specific profile that you want to use. Now it's telling me that I haven't updated the variables in my script that represent my environment. So let's go into that script and edit that for this deployment. So I'm just going to edit this in Notepad++. And what you'll see is the variables that we're going to use for the stack, the S3 bucket. You will have to have an S3 bucket set up for this in AWS, but it doesn't require anything special. Just the defaults will be fine for that. If you're going to use a different region, you'll want to set that up. It needs to be the same region as the bucket that you've created. Your DynamoDB table name and your Lambda function name. This needs to be unique across your account. You can't reuse Lambda function names. So just make sure your Lambda function name is unique across your account. You can't reuse those. So let's name our stack. This is just going to be CRUD API stack 4. My bucket name is just my demo bucket that I'm using here. I am using East 1. My table name, let's just call this CRUD API demo table. And my Lambda function name. So let's call that CRUD API demo Lambda. And this is where it's checking to make sure that you've modified this script. It won't let you run if you haven't updated those values, just to make sure that you've actually made a selection that you want here. So we'll save this. And now we'll go back to our PowerShell window and run again. Give it the profile name, and it starts cranking away. It built the project. It's zipping up the file to upload to S3. It's creating the chain set. And now it's actually processing the build out of the stack in the cloud. And you can see it completed successfully. So now we're going to go check our deployment and make sure everything is happy. We'll grab the URL that we want to use in Postman to test it. And show that everything is behaving as anticipated. So first up, let's take a look at our API gateway. We have our new starter kit right here. So let's dip down into that. You can see it created all of our resources for creating, deleting, reading, and updating that we'll put to use here in just a minute. We need to grab our URL from the stage. So we've got that. And now we're going to go over to Postman and pull this up for a test. So we have a variable set for the endpoint. We need to change that. And I've got it set for the entire collection. So it'll change for all of these various methods here. I will have a Postman collection that you can import as part of the package for this. So right now we're going to create a record, but let's first show that we don't have that record in the database. Okay, not found. Let's go ahead and create that item. Created. Now if we read that item, there we have it. Let's update that item. We actually need to get the right ID. And we'll send the update. Says it's updated successfully, but you always want to trust but verify. Let's read that item back. You can see right now it just says Josie. Now it's Josie Smith. Let's go ahead and delete that item. You put the correct number in there. Deleted successfully, and then we want to try reading it again, and it's not found. And it's as simple as that. You now have the entire CRUD API deployed to your AWS cloud infrastructure, and you can build onto it and create your application based on this starter kit. So you don't have to go through all of the initial construction or deployment setup. It's all included in the package. And what you have in the package includes the CS proj file that you can open up in Visual Studio. And in the Solution Explorer, it's just being a little slow today. You have all of the code in the function CS file that lets you customize to your heart's content. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at support@obsidianriver.com, and I'll be happy to help. Enjoy. Happy coding. Now that your starter kit is deployed, you're ready to customize it and launch your backend faster than ever. Thanks again for choosing the AWS CRUD API Starter Kit, and happy building.